We see you. You look like you've got it together on the outside, but on the inside, you're tired and stressed and overwhelmed. Some days you wake up wondering, is there more to life than this? Well, the good news is, yes, there is. Buddhism offers so many profound lessons that can help you change your life. And, believe it or not, you'll find them hidden in a rather unexpected place. You see, Bluey might be a kid's TV show, but if you listen closely, every single episode teaches an important lesson that can transform your life completely. Today, we're going to look at how Bluey takes ancient Buddhist wisdom to help you better understand who you are, why you keep suffering, and how you can be happier. Starting today. So what have you got to lose? Let's dive in. Lesson number 1. Have you ever thought to yourself, life's unfair. Why is this happening to me? Well, then this Buddhist lesson is for you. In the Bluey episode, Bumpy and the wise old wolfhound, Bingo is sick in hospital. To cheer her up, Bluey has created a short film starring herself and a puppy named Bumpy. In her film, Bluey and Bumpy live in a very happy world where, for whatever reason, everyone wears purple underpants. Together, Bluey and Bumpy live a very happy life. Until one day, when Bumpy gets very sick. A desperate Bluey is told to see a healer called the wise old wolfhound and begs her to cure Bumpy.
Okay, little one, perhaps there is a way I can help.
Oh, wonderful!
Bring me a pair of purple underpants.
Okay. Ah, now it's making sense.
Whoa, I'm not finished. I need a pair of purple underpants from someone who's never been sick.
Never been sick?
Bluey searches high and low for a pair of purple underpants from someone who's never been sick, but she can't find any because everyone she knows has been sick. That's when the realization hits.
And then Barnacus realised what the wiser wolfhound was trying to teach her. Oh, everyone gets sick sometimes, not just Bumpy.
Bluey's story echoes the Buddhist parable of the mustard seed, which teaches that suffering is simply an inevitable part of life. Buddhism also teaches that a large part of our suffering is because of our desire to not suffer. We see this every time Bluey resists the situation.
It's not fair.
In this short 7-minute episode, Bluey perfectly encapsulates 3 of the 4 noble truths of Buddhism. 1. That existence equals suffering. 2. That the cause of our suffering is our desire to not see the world as it truly is. And 3. That the end of suffering comes when we give up this desire and accept things as they are. When Bluey understands that being sick is just a part of life, we see her do a total 360. She stops complaining and comes to peace with Bumpy's illness, even using it as an opportunity to spend more quality time with her, teaching us a core Buddhist lesson: acceptance. So, how can you apply this to your life? Well, the next time you think, why is this happening to me? Turn it into, this is happening to me because it's simply part of life. My resistance to it is what's making me suffer. Lesson number 2. This next Buddhist lesson is a hard pill to swallow, but once you wrap your head around it, it's an absolute game changer. It's best explored in the episode Camping, which, on a side note, is probably the best Bluey episode ever created, and if you don't agree, you can make your case in the comments. Anyway, while on a camping trip with her family, Bluey meets a French dog named Jean-Luc. Despite the language barrier, they become fast friends and have lots of fun adventures together. But one day, Bluey wakes up to find Jean-Luc gone. Bluey is devastated. Later that night, she asks her mum why Jean-Luc had to leave.
Sometimes special people come into our lives, stay for a bit, and then they have to go.
Mum is teaching Bluey a core Buddhist belief: impermanence. Impermanence is a hard pill to swallow because, as humans, we want things to stay exactly as they are. But The Buddha taught us that nothing in the universe is permanent. Everything that comes into being will eventually disappear. Now, that may sound depressing, but once you've wrapped your head around this truth, it's actually incredibly liberating. Think about it. Viewing everything in your life as fleeting and finite will actually make you appreciate it even more, whether it's your job, your home, or the people around you. Jobs come and go. Money comes and goes. People come and go. And Buddhism teaches that instead of hanging on, you just let them go. Because who knows, if they're meant to, they might just come back.
Hello, Bluey.
Lesson number 3. Have you ever woken up in the morning and wondered, is this all there is? Well, Buddhism has the answer, and it's explored in a Bluey episode called The Dump. It kicks off with Bluey, Bingo, and Dad on the way to the dump. When they get there, Dad throws away some boxes, and a piece of paper escapes. But it's not just any piece of paper. It's a portrait that Bluey lovingly drew of herself. Not surprisingly, Bluey's crushed. To make her feel better, Dad tries to explain that her drawing was actually going into a recycling bin where they wouldn't have gone to waste.
Any drawings you throw in this dump get mushed up and turned into new paper.
Like brand new bits of paper?
Yeah, so some other kid can draw a picture on it.
And what happens when that kid's dad throws it away?
Well, then it gets mushed up again and turned into another piece of paper for another kid. And over and over.
Back in the car, Bluey makes a realization.
Dad, you know my drawing?
Yeah?
Was that someone else's drawing before it was mine?
This, in simple terms, encapsulates the core Buddhist belief of reincarnation. The idea that we are changeless souls, having one life experience after the other. Just like Bluey's drawing, our earthly forms eventually die and are reborn again and again. Buddhism also teaches that how you are reborn in your next life depends directly on the actions you take now. This is the concept of karma. Karma is explored in this episode through the character of Dad. Dad has assumed a perfect, almost godlike figure who teaches Bluey and Bingo about good and bad. He also claims he's the best driver in the world. In this episode, Dad is constantly facing the consequences of his actions. When he's caught throwing out Bluey's drawing, the girls use their newfound knowledge of good and bad to call him out.
That's a picture of me. You're throwing away Bluey. Ah, you're a baddie.
Now, whether you believe in rebirth or not, these principles can still add value and meaning to your life. If anything, they're a reminder that everything you do in life matters. Sure, life may feel like a hard slog, but you're getting up every day, taking care of your loved ones, doing what needs to be done at work and at home. It all matters, and it will pay off. Karma and science say so. Lesson number 4. There's a famous quote from the Buddhist monk Shantadewa that can totally transform your life. So listen closely. It goes, "Where would I find enough leather to cover the entire surface of the earth? But with leather soles beneath my feet, it's as if the whole world has been covered." Now, if that just went right over your head, that's okay. The Bluey episode Unicourse will help you to understand it. In this episode, Mum and Dad are trying to get Bluey to go to sleep, but she's not having it. So Mum attempts to read her a bedtime story, except she's constantly interrupted by an annoying unicorn puppet called Unicourse, played by Dad. Still, Mum plods on, and despite Unicourse's relentless interruptions, tells Bluey a story about a village where everyone walks around barefoot. One day, the queen of the village ventures out to explore her kingdom, only to find out that it's covered in nasty prickles. To make sure that she doesn't step on another painful prickle again, the queen decides to cover her whole kingdom in leather. All day and all night she works on this, until one day she realizes it's impossible.
But then the
jester said to the Queen, "Your Majesty, instead of covering the whole kingdom in leather, why not just cover your feet?" So the Queen cut 2 little bits of leather and made them into shoes.
Hey, I'm talking to you.
Yeah, listen to him.
So the people could walk anywhere they wanted and the prickles couldn't hurt them.
The moral of Mum's and Shantadiwa's leather shoes story is to shift your focus from changing the world around you and instead turn your focus inward to try to change yourself. We can see this principle in practice through Mum and Bluey's gradual tuning out of Unicourse. Rather than trying to change him or make him less annoying, which is impossible in any case, they simply got better at ignoring him and continuing to read through his constant distractions and interruptions. Another way of looking at it is you can't control what happens in life, but you can control your response to it. So next time life gets hard, instead of trying to change the people or the circumstances around you, why not put your quote-unquote leather shoes on and work on becoming stronger and more resilient? Stoicism, like Buddhism, actually has a lot to say about focusing on what you can control, and Bluey does an incredible job at explaining Stoic lessons too. If you haven't already seen our video on Bluey's Stoic lessons, we're linking it on the screen right now. And it's definitely worth a watch if you're serious about changing your life. Alright, so there you have it. The secret to a happier and more meaningful life according to Buddhism. By applying these lessons every day, you can transform yourself and your life for the better. And best of all, you can start right now. Okay guys, if you found this video useful, we do appreciate if you'd share it with anyone you think might need some inspiration right now. We've got so many more awesome videos coming up, like how Bluey takes on Carl Jung. Trust us, that's a juicy one. So make sure you hit subscribe below so you don't miss out. Our goal is simple, to spread just a little bit of joy to everyone who watches, and you could really help us do that. But for now, we'll leave you with a Bluey classic that'll remind you to cherish every moment.
I remember when you used to take me swimming here.
Yeah, me too.
That was a long time ago.
No, it was yesterday.